I know. Hello, America. Through the course of American history, there have been periods and events that were so dramatic, so huge, that they were life-altering for the people involved, the people in America. Some of them were so huge they altered the entire world. It changed people. It changed their daily life, and it changed the course for generations. Some of the examples, when the founders pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. Or when the framers signed the Constitution a few years later. Something that changed us dramatically for many, many years, the Civil War, and all the corruption that came from Reconstruction afterwards. Then there was the life-changing New Deal and Pearl Harbor. There was also, in our lifetime, 9/11. That was an event that changed the course of our country. It still affects all of us every day. All of these events didn't happen just on one day and the immediate people that were involved. These events grabbed each and every one of us at the core. Do you remember how you felt that day? And it caused us to reevaluate our thinking. What is it that we believe? Who are we? How did this happen? What happened? And then we started moving forward again. Pearl Harbor was a hugely important day. But that wasn't the end of the story. It wasn't just December 7th. It wasn't like, wow, that was a bad day, and then everybody went back and having apple pie and watching baseball. America had a choice to make on that day. And as everyone knows, the decisions that followed over the next few years, that deadly December 7th attack, radically changed America's course. We went to war. And it changed everything. This vote this weekend is akin to one of these events. If you think I'm talking about just the health care bill, you couldn't be more wrong. The health care bill is merely a battle, and it is a huge battle. I think it may be Normandy, but it's part of a bigger war. And the war is the fundamental transformation or restoration of our country. That is the game that they're playing. And while everybody is going to focus on the political game surrounding the health care bill, the slaughter rule, the secrecy, the arm twisting, the bribes, the lies, we have to make sure that we understand that the picture is not about politics. It's much, much, much bigger. It's much bigger than Obama. It's bigger than the Republicans and the Democrats or Bush or Clinton. We have been off track for decades, and it is finally catching up with us. So we have to change. Not just Washington. We have to change. Because let's be honest, we're the ones that allowed our system to make this kind of a bill a possibility. Americans need to ask the question, how did this happen? And the only answer I can come up with is because we wanted to believe the lies that were being told, that we could have it all. We have to find the answers, because even if this health care bill is stopped, they're going to break it apart piece by piece, and then there's going to be another massive corrupt bill, and then another, and then another, and the Republicans will come and the Democrats will go, but the entire system is broken. It's broken. I read a report today, and I want to show you this. This is a report from about Greece. The Greece bailout is falling apart. The markets tanked on the news. I read another story that said if Spain goes into default, the whole world goes into default. Not a surprise if you watch this show, because we've been saying that. Any of these pieces fall, and it's a domino. Then you remember last week I told you a story that barely got any news. Moody's said that America may lose its AAA rating. Moody's says U.S. debt could test AAA rating. That's a bad story. That means we're not going to be able to pay our interest rate. But there was a small line at the end of the article that got even less attention. I even missed this one on the first time through, and it is incredible. Have you heard anyone else focusing on this, even on Moody's? Moody's says that we could test AAA rating, but now let me show you what it would require to fix it. Fiscal adjustments of a magnitude that in some cases will test social cohesion. Let me translate. Fiscal adjustments. We're not talking about health care and education. We're certainly not saying, oh, you've got a right to education. Here's more free stuff. That's not what we're talking about. Fiscal adjustments, meaning down. Why would we test social cohesion if you're getting more presents from the government? Do you see the lie they're telling you? Fiscal adjustments of a magnitude that in some cases will test social cohesion. Let me translate social cohesion. Show me Greece, please. This is the test of social cohesion. They're called riots. They believe society may experience, America may experience some sort of breakdown. And I'm telling you, I am begging you, America, to please root yourself in things that are real, because I think this is a possibility too. Because the fiscal adjustments must be made. I ask you, you know, I kind of look at all of us as people who are on the deck of the Titanic, and it's our job to be people that they're going to argue inside the boat like crazy. You stand on the deck and you help me find stuff that floats. You help me build lifeboats. You get people, because they're going to come out. They're going to come out of the ship and they're going to say, okay, and they're going to still be arguing. It's your fault. No, it's his fault. It's that captain. It's that crew member. It doesn't matter. Get people into boats. Now, when TARP was, they were telling everybody we had to do TARP. Congressman Brad Sherman said members of Congress were told if they didn't pass TARP, there would be martial law. Congressman Kanjorski was told that without Fed intervention of an electronic bank run, the world would have an economic collapse, and it would happen within 24 hours. Wow, the worst is behind us. It sure doesn't feel like that, and nobody but the president is really saying that. And what I'd like to know is, what are members of Congress being told what's going to happen if we don't pass health care? Whether health care is stopped or not, please consider the possibility that world finance as we know it is going to reset. It has to reset. And anybody with half a brain, the President of the United States knows this. This bill is the centerpiece of the progressive structure. You know how I've said they're building a machine and you don't want this thing to pass because it's a framework. Quite honestly, and I know progressives will beat me up for this, but stand in line. They're building a cage, social unrest, a cage. They are preparing. Remember, what we've said, Cloward and Piven, is to melt the system down, but have it collapse into a new system. This is not just about health care. It's about grab all the education dollars as well. We'll show you a video in a few minutes that you've never seen. This is a long-term strategy. Someone has to be standing when that evil capitalism finally fails us. Well, I got news for you, gang. I'm going to be standing. Please be standing as well. Shore yourself up. Don't allow yourself to become, or your state to become, a slave to what's being built in Washington. Don't go that direction, please. This is a turning point for America. We are standing at a crossroads. We have to decide who we are, who we want to be when we come out of the other side of the dark tunnel that we're about to go in. We pointed out the president's words that went by unnoticed by everybody else. Here they are.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
How did that not send a chill down our spines? The American people understand that this is not the job nor the responsibility of government to provide everything for us. I don't want to be a slave to someone else. I want to make my own way. We understand that the Soviet Union tried it and failed. China tried it and failed. North Korea tried it and failed. Poland tried it and failed. Tried it and failed the world over. None of the states that have promised to take care of their people have been able to deliver on that promise, and so they end up shooting their people. The only thing they've been able to deliver on is the promise of oppression that always comes with total government. I warn you, America. Oppression is one promise our government will keep.